What is up PG Nation, I'm Ben, and in today's video we'll look at the best multiplayer PvP games that you absolutely need on your watch list for 2023. And while I have you here, don't forget to subscribe. Most of you who are watching my videos are not subscribed yet, and I would love it if you did. Plus, if you do, you will get your comment on screen like right now. This ranking is in random order, and let's do this. Number 10. Project Evo. Project Evo is the first mobile survival game developed with the Unreal Engine 5, where you get to explore a massive open world by the name of Emberland, with its desert, forest, snowfields and even ghost towns. You can choose to either build your base, team up with others, or just go out and about exploring the open world. Laser Edge Studios, the developers of the game, have also implemented a real-time weather system that is sure to immerse players into the settings. Gameplay consists of you searching for resources that will allow you to craft items, cook food, raid bases, and of course, take down enemies. Project Evo being a multiplayer survival game, you will encounter other survivors. These can be friends or traitors, so you will have to team up with the right people to help you survive. This looks very promising indeed. Number 9. Rogue Company Elite. Rogue Company Elite has entered pre-registration, and the good news is that this is not a simple port but a full remake. The devs have rebuilt the third-person shooter from the ground up, optimized for mobile, and it features a bunch of game modes which include Extraction, Demolition and Strikeout, which by the way are all 4v4 objective-based game modes, and 2v2 modes are available as well. You should also know that Rogue Company Elite isn't particularly graphically demanding, so one can expect the mobile version to be accessible to a wider range of devices. We don't have a specific launch date yet, but you can pre-register and check out the rewards up for grabs on the game's official website. Number 8. Mission Zero. If you're tired of multiplayer shooters and RPGs and are on the lookout for something a little different, Mission Zero might be it. Described as a 2v4 competitive stealth game, players are split into teams of chasers or invaders. The two chasers must track down the invaders, who must complete a series of missions without being detected. Think of Mission Zero as Hitman meets Among Us. Both factions will have a bunch of characters to pick from, each with unique abilities that are designed to trick, confuse, or take down your opponents. The game had a number of regional beta tests ahead of its global launch, which will likely be in Q2 of 2023, and I'm totally down. Number 7. Warframe Mobile. We're closing in on 2 years since Warframe Mobile was officially announced, and we haven't had much to chew on since then until last month, where we got the first beta test of the game. Sadly for Android gamers, the beta is only available on the iOS platform, which you can still opt in on the official website. Personally speaking, I gotta say that this mobile port is quite impressive. The game has great overlay controls, and aside from the control UI, the rest is identical to the PC version. The gameplay is also pretty close to the original, with the fast-paced parkour and ability-driven combat as fun as ever. Plus, the option to connect a compatible controller is great and automatically hides the on-screen controls. Of course, there are a multitude of improvements that can be done before the global release, which should be Q2 or 3 of 2023. Number 6. Tabs. Tabs, or Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, is finally coming to Android and iOS devices, and you can expect the same kind of wacky, totally silly fun from the beloved PC and Xbox versions. You are tasked with leading wobbly warriors across various worlds with more than 100 classes and even a custom unit creator that lets you craft your own wobbly ragdoll masterpiece. You can fight using medieval warriors, hardy tanks, and even Death himself. You get the picture. Anything goes in this game, and personally I'm looking forward to playing this one on the go. Number 5. Battlefield Mobile. Battlefield Mobile has just received its first major update since launching into open beta a couple months ago. The update includes 2 new weapons, being a submachine gun and a sniper rifle, new epic skins and gear, and a series of bug fixes. Battlefield Mobile will have you and your team take part in battles on both new and old maps across a variety of modes. Weapons and body kits can be unlocked gradually, and you can expect a bunch of vehicles in battles, going from ATVs to tanks and so on. The devs added that the game will feature the chaos and fun that the fans love, along with excellent graphics and destructible buildings, and while the game is only available currently in some selected countries in Southeast Asia, it's expected to go global in 2023. Number 4. Valorant Mobile. The 5v5 tactical shooter took the world by storm soon after its debut, amassing over 14 million players worldwide and quickly becoming the #1 FPS competitive esports. But what about Valorant Mobile? Riot Games officially confirmed a mobile version of their big multiplayer success, with the game's executive producer Anna Donlan saying that they're thrilled to soon offer the same competitive Valorant experience to even more players globally. And while we still don't have an official release date yet for Valorant Mobile, a beta version was released on April of last year for Chinese players, and an open beta is expected to release sometimes in 2023. I have my fingers crossed for sooner rather than later. Number 3. The Division Resurgence. Ubisoft's The Division Resurgence is a third-person shooter RPG set in an open-world post-apocalypse Manhattan, and the game will feature a AAA experience optimized for mobile, along with a new storyline, classes, enemy factions, and more. The story focuses on key events around the Division 1 and 2 in an open world that you can explore solo or in co-op. There will also be PvE and PvP game modes, and if you were wondering, yes, you can loot, craft, mod, and upgrade your weapons and gear just like in the previous games. New signature weapons and gadgets will also be along for the ride, and if you're wondering, the Dark Zone will also be there with its hostile factions and even deadlier enemies. There was a live test that took place in December, and you can sign up for the closed beta on the game's official website. Number 2. Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. Warzone Mobile is the sequel to one of the biggest games on mobile in the past few years, that is COD Mobile, of course. The game has already gathered over 25 million pre-registrations, unlocking a bunch of milestone rewards in the process. Call of Duty Warzone Mobile is already out on a limited release in Australia, and looking at this initial version, the primary map will be Verdansk, which is good news since it's one of the most loved locations for fans all over the world. There are also leaks confirming that Neymar, Messi, and a bunch of other characters will be in this game. And while players located in Australia and those using a VPN can already enjoy the game, we shouldn't have to wait too long for a global release since it was announced for a 2023 launch window. And I can't wait, can you? Number 1. Rainbow Six Mobile. The first competitive multiplayer FPS of the franchise on mobile will have you compete in Rainbow Six Classic Attack vs Defense game modes. You can play as an attacker or defender in fast-paced 5v5 matches with a focus on intense close-quarter combat and timely tactical decisions, and all these are of course a signature of the series. You'll be able to choose from a roster of operators, each with their own unique abilities and gadgets, and seeing how well the alpha and beta tests were received, we are definitely getting close to the official release, which will have 3 new iconic maps added and graphical improvements. And for my part, count me in. And that sums up the best new multiplayer PvP games to be on the lookout for in 2023. But now I want to hear from you down in the comments. What games are on your watch list? Of course, as always, if you enjoyed this video, clicking the like button does help me out a lot, and I would really appreciate that. And if you're new, consider subscribing because I put out new videos like this every week. Also, a special thanks to my YouTube members, and if you want to support my content, links are down in the description. You can also show some love to this video with a super thanks. Once again, I'm Ben, thank you AG Nation for watching, and I'll see you next time, right here on Android GameSpot. Stay epic!